Hi, I'm Wesley Pergament from Sola Insurance, and this is the Future of Insurance, live from ITC Vegas.
Wes, it's good to sit down with you again. I know I just had you on not too long ago, but one of the things we talked about was something big that was coming to you in the wind and hail space. So I want to talk about that because now it's tangible.
Yep.
Before we jump into that, for those who didn't see the last time we sat down, can you tell people who you are and what it is Sola?
Absolutely. So I say from a really high level, we're a natural disaster carrier, but ultimately what we're looking to do is bring more affordability and consistency to the home insurance experience. And so we have these natural disaster policies that use weather data to trigger payouts, but ultimately just providing that more affordable and consistent coverage for homeowners.
And how about you?
My background?
Yeah.
So I previously worked at a flood insurance startup, and I spent some time looking at natural disaster maps and ultimately realizing a lot of this data was telling us where the damaged areas are.
Yeah.
And through that, I learned a lot more about parametric insurance or using weather data to trigger payouts, and had this aha moment where at least we started with tornado and no one was building out a product in the tornado space. And then through that product, a lot of agents were like, tornado is great, but we have a wind and hail deductible, not just a tornado deductible. And so almost as soon as we started talking to agents and launched the tornado product, also agents were asking, when can you do this kind of like wind, hail, and tornado product?
And you've been through the GIA, Global Insurance Accelerator, which is how we met.
Yes.
With the tornado product at first. You went live with that, and that's it's a cool, if like specific solution for people who are in tornado prone areas. Makes total sense. Highly affordable, responds really quickly, parametric based. But yeah, wind and hail, and I think for any carrier listening, they hear the word hail and it's like a trigger word. Talk to me about what that is and where you're at with it, because this was an idea or like you were working on trying to bring it out when I had you last time.
Absolutely. I would say kind of in our company's infancy, we thought one of the biggest value adds we can offer was a quick payout time. And while that is great, and we still do offer that, at the end of the day, buying insurance is more around just affordability and having like a consistent experience with your claims process. And that's really what we're delivering and what we realized as we were talking to agents about our tornado product. And so while that speed was an important factor, what the wind and hail product really enables us to do is two things. One, a lot of carriers are starting to mandate or institute minimum wind and hail deductibles, and so that could be $3,000 or $5,000 for just your average homeowner on a $300,000 home, and that's a lot of money out of pocket. Or in those instances where you might have had a claim and your premium jumped up like 50%, that's a lot to handle. And so the way to work through that is usually through the deductible. And so if they didn't have a high deductible already, maybe they can go from that $1,000 deductible to a $5,000 wind and hail deductible and save a few $100s, maybe $500-$700 a year on their home insurance premium. And then the great thing is what they can do now is they can take our product and buy a policy to cover that write a Sola policy at that $5,000 limit, and then our premium's usually around like $200 a year. So they'll have that net difference of $300 a year in savings. So that's the benefit.
The deductible.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And so not only is that the benefit for the insurance agent and the homeowner, but then from the carrier side, they're offloading some of that risk that they're trying to very clearly move away from, while also being able to offer coverage that they don't want to offer currently.
It also, one of the biggest issues in the hail related roof losses right now is public adjusters. And so when we talk about something that's more of a parametric product, there isn't this back and forth debate over it. So I understand why your economics are different, so that there can be this delta savings for the insured, because you're not facing the same level of kind of negotiation risk that if we had a first dollar coverage with no deductible, the guy knocking on your door being like, I'll get you a free roof. That's not a play here.
Exactly. People ask and say sometimes what we're offering is like too good to be true, and how we're able to do that. And I'd say really what we're fundamentally offering is a completely different way about how we offer like an insurance policy and what is the actual coverage form itself. Because at the end of the day, all of these carriers and even insurtechs have access to very similar weather data, and they're all pulling from the National Weather Service and NOAA. But really, it's what does our product do with that data, right? So it's carriers can use that data to figure out where the damaged areas are to verify claims, but ultimately it's the homeowner that triggers the claims process, or a contractor or a public adjuster who knocks on the doors and says, I can get your roof replaced. Versus with our product, and the way that our product works is it's based off of that objective trigger threshold to start that claims process, and so we can be more resilient to a lot of those macroeconomic factors like inflation or fraud or contractors knocking on doors and things like that. So
I want to understand, where is this in terms of being available or not? Like, where are you in the life cycle of the product? And then I've been talking a lot lately about this sort of kind of moment of reckoning, where we've reached a place where it's not economically viable for carriers to continue to sell homeowners insurance, as one example, or other lines of business, at a rate that homeowners could afford to buy it at. Like, one side can't make those economics work, and you need both sides for the market to clear. So thinking about alternative solutions, ways to package up products, I find this really interesting as like one of the ways to get there. But where are you guys at? And then what does this mean for kind of enabling?
Absolutely. So I'm happy to say that we have just launched our wind and hail program in about 8 states so far in the Midwest and Southeast. Most of those states being obviously like the kind of high risk, medium to high risk, like wind and hail states. And we offer it through independent agencies, and that's a great channel because these agencies already have the home insurance, so they already have the homeowner, and they can work with the homeowner to be able to craft that amazing package and amazing experience for the homeowner, because at the end of the day, as we all know, a lot of homeowners don't even understand the home insurance policy themselves, let alone how to mix and match different policies. And so we spend a lot of time working with insurance agents, educating them on how they can either have a high wind and hail deductible and use our product to cover the gap, or increase it to save money and then also use our product to cover the gap and then save them money on that whole package.
Well, the agents are left kind of holding the bag right now, because so many of them are facing markets that have pulled out or so significantly increased rate. Now the agent, like, the insured needs them to find a solution, and the agent may not have one. So to give them another tool in their toolbox to respond, because otherwise they lose the account. Not that another agent is necessarily going to be able to do anything on it, but it's souring relationships they've maybe spent decades building. Just because they're kind of out of options.
Exactly. And to your point, I mean, we've seen, obviously the insurance industry has been around for centuries and will continue to do well. But during these last few years, we've seen a destabilization of how, like, home insurance premiums, loss ratios, and just the unprecedented increase in home insurance premiums and the rate at which deductibles are increasing. And so I think we'll start to see that like slow down and taper off as the industry goes into the direction that they're heading in anyway. But I think like our product and our company can play a big role in helping create this more stable market opportunity and provide both that affordable and consistent premium.
So how are you seeing this? I mean, I know it's only been, we're recording this on October 16th. You guys were approved like 3-ish weeks ago, something like that. So I know it's new, but how has it been enabling or getting us past some of these moments of like, I can't afford to buy this coverage, or for the carrier, I can't afford to sell coverage to you. And then what about a mortgage holder? Like, your bank won't give you a mortgage, or you'll be in violation of it if you don't have homeowners insurance. Like, is it in practice starting to break through some of those barriers?
Absolutely, and a lot faster than we actually predicted.
I feel like I was setting you up 3 weeks on that, like, you can't answer this yet, but...
Yeah, no, I'm happy to say that in our first week, we actually helped a homeowner close on their home, which was really exciting for us, and really that kind of, we knew that we built this product for that reason, but when it actually happened in reality, it was really exciting. And the way we were able to do that is this homeowner was binding this policy. It was on the expensive side, and so they wanted to increase the wind and hail deductible to save some money. And the mortgage company said they wouldn't accept that high deductible. They wouldn't provide the mortgage because their deductible was too high. And we just rolled out this product. The agent we were working with was a Sola agent, knew that we were just rolling it out, and they asked their mortgage company, if we bound the Sola policy on this homeowner, would you like close the mortgage? And they said yes. And this was on a Friday, and they needed to close by Monday, and it was right when we launched. And we were able to help that homeowner close on the home, and the mortgage company accepted our product as sufficient coverage in lieu of those like high wind and hail deductibles.
I didn't think about having to educate like the banking sector on parametrics and your product, but yeah, now I'm sort of saying like it's a good thing the mortgage company was like, "Oh, did we get this?" And it wasn't like, "No, that we don't know what that is. We can't," because that's how mortgages work. Is it's never like, "Oh, we got all the time in the world." It's kind of down to the wire, consistently.
And for anyone that like knows anything about insurance, the mortgage companies and insurance companies are really hand in hand. A lot of the leads that insurance agents sell policy off of are from the mortgage companies. So we as a company also want to spend more time like working with the mortgage companies, like educating them about these products and making it more common for them to accept it and also even push this product as kind of that sufficient coverage for the wind and hail side. So it's exciting.
You guys are an MGA today. You said 8 states with the wind and hail product. Where's the tornado product stand?
So the tornado products is in 15 states.
Okay. And admitted, right?
Yeah, it's all admitted.
That surprised me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we really wanted to do is bring this product into the mainstream. We wanted to sit it alongside that home insurance policy. Again, to the point about mortgage companies, we wanted them to see the legitimacy of A-rated paper, Lloyd's of London reinsurance behind this product. And so going down that route brought these levels of legitimacy and to our company to build that trust. And so that was the direction that we decided to head. And our tornado product is in those 15 other states. And we've, for all intents and purposes, want to expand our wind and hail coverage. Ultimately, we would say about 25 states that are experiencing these like severe wind and hail related events. So we certainly have ambitious goals to not only expand into those states, but then also launch other natural disaster products and provide more coverage. And
do you see a world where, like, I can buy my homeowners and stripping things out, or auto, or whatever other lines you built something around, and then I go and buy the Sola policy to fill some of those gaps? Or do you see it moving into a place where it's like, I'm just buying a policy and it has components that are like Sola's powering this piece and the traditional carrier's powering that? Maybe it's someone else doing this other thing. Like, do you see it becoming a holistic solution for the insured again, with different providers behind the scenes?
Absolutely. I mean, we want to provide the most seamless experience for the homeowner and match them with the best coverage. And the more we can embed into what's already out there and what's already offered, the better experience we can provide for the homeowner, because everything's integrated. It's all in one process. It's less confusing of how maybe the way one policy works and the way another policy works. Embedding it all will really enable us to not only like streamline that buying process, but also just streamline our communication and expectations and really set the bar again for really affordability and consistency, which not a lot of people are talking about in this market. So,
well, something I said to you early on was, and this is just about the tornado product, but the promise that you're talking about is this idea has to succeed, even if this guy and this company doesn't. And I was like, I hope that doesn't offend him, but it's awesome to see that the idea is succeeding and that you are as well.
Yeah.
Because we do need, like, we are at this point where the way we've been solving for things isn't really going to work. It's already struggling to work in a lot of situations. I love that you're building some of the solutions that can help with that. So thank you for doing that, and continued success to you and the team at Sola.
Yeah, no, I mean, it takes a village. I mean, we have, like, we're not only is it our team, but we have also amazing partners, like I said, on the reinsurance side, fronting carrier, adjusters, like data providers. I mean, it took a village, and we worked with like great industry leaders to bring this product to market, in addition to our amazing team. So, I mean, we're continuing to expand. We want to roll out to more states, offer more coverage, work with more agencies and carriers, and see how we can help on every part of the value chain, from homeowners to insurance agents to the insurance carriers themselves. So we have a lot more to do.
No, that's great. I will link to your site so people can check this out some more. I do think it's a great moment for people who are like, I don't understand what that is. Okay, but don't just sit there and say I don't understand. Look into it more. Get a really good sense of a creative solution to an extremely real, wide-scale problem right now. And it's just in the U.S. Other countries face the same sorts of issues.
That's
right. I love this. So continued success to you, and congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much, and appreciate it. But thank you for having me. So.
Yeah.